All right. Can everybody hear me? Ugh.
I can.
Nice. Everybody, this is Paprika Jack. He is the voice of Heero Yuy. Everybody
Hello.
say hi. Even though you can't, we're actually the only two talking. he he graciously stepped in. Blue was not able to tonight, but we were wanting to get our actors in anyway, so this is a good start for that. He has been with us since Tiba, so he's a good friend of ours, and he will be here to answer your questions as well. So, um, without further ado, if anybody wasn't here last time, we're just going to go through the long list of questions that you guys have given us and answer them. They don't have to be about the show or the channel. They can be about literally anything, and we will answer as many as we can. We'll try not to go on as long as we did last time, but we had a lot of fun, and an hour passed a lot more quickly than we thought it would. So, with that said, Paprika, are you ready to just go into it?
Yeah. I got one I'd like to answer right off the bat.
Sure. You're
From
first, go for it.
Hobbs the Green Caper. They ask, could you please answer all/most of your questions tonight in Heero Yuy's voice? And my answer is, I will try for some of them, but a very unfortunate thing that happened when Blue and Gray brought the plague back with them is that I caught it, and it messed with my throat.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I got a little bit of tea here, and I'll try my best, but
Yeah, I appreciate that. We actually got him to do the voice for the first time since catching it yesterday, because as we were scripting, there was a funny line that I was like, hey, can you do this line real quick in Hero's voice? And without context, he just like went for it. Mostly nailed it. It came out
yeah,
pretty well.
mostly. I thought I did a good job.
You did, you did. We're not going to be recording again, though, until we're all, COVID free, so take your
Yeah.
time. Okay, I guess I'll take the next one from Reen. This is a continuation from last week. Gray, what is your history with Arby's? So last week I said that I had a history with Arby's. I probably built this up much more than it should be. I don't like Arby's, but back in high school, in my sophomore year, I decided to no longer do high school soccer. I just wanted to do co-ed soccer with my friends because I didn't want to take it that seriously anymore. So for 3 years, we would practice every Wednesday. And after that first practice, we decided, hey, let's go somewhere to eat. And none of us could decide anything. We were like, oh, Taco Bell. Nah, I just had Taco Bell. McDonald's, all this. And then one guy just said, how about Arby's? And then all of us just kind of collectively didn't say anything, and then Arby's became where we went. So for 3 years, every Wednesday, we went to Arby's after practice. 3 years. On the final day before the season was over and we were all going to graduate and go to college and all that, we were like, man, I'm really sad that, Arby's won't be our tradition anymore. And then the guy who suggested Arby's kind of sits there and he says, I don't even like Arby's. And then it starts like a tidal wave of the rest of us. Yeah, I don't like Arby's either. Yeah, I don't like Arby's either. So we're all like, there are like 8 of us crowded around this table in the middle of Arby's, just kind of shitting on Arby's for a bit, saying how we've
Oh.
never even liked it, and we all just kept coming because the other guys kept coming.
Oh, what it would
And-
be like to be employed at that Arby's while you all made that realization.
and then we all just kind of like hated Arby's after that, and I've only had Arby's once since my senior year of high school. I don't like it, but three straight years we were there. That is my history. I hope it lived up to the hype.
And I
All right,
have never eaten at Arby's.
Really?
Yeah,
Never?
No, not once.
All right, it looks like we're
I've
going to
tried
have
to
to
get-
order Arby's.
I've tried to get people close to me, like every time I've driven past one, to be like, hey, let's stop here and eat at Arby's. And they're like, no. Like, unanimously. So, I don't know. Doesn't feel like I'm missing out on much.
There's one that I go by every single time I go to GameStop. There's the GameStop where our friend is the manager there, so I always go to that one, and you have to turn past Arby's every time. So I go past there like twice a month. I should just pick up some sometime and just make you eat it.
I'd do it. I'd eat, anything you put in front of me.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's true. All right. Jack, why don't you take one?
Sure. From Humble Green. Been a while since we talked. his question is, what is my favorite Digimon? And then Gray, why is your favorite Pokemon Magmar? So I actually have a favorite Digimon. Uh, is there a good place to post a picture of this guy?
QA questions, go for it. And then in the video, I'll just put up the picture. While he's doing that,
Just gotta get one
my
really
favorite
quick. Yeah, answer your
Pokemon-
question.
My favorite Pokemon is Magmar because when I was a kid, I went to this Pokemon trading card league at Books A Million in the back where they stored stuff. They like set up tables, and then these like sweaty parents would like school us in card games. And if you could beat the gym leaders, then you got these little badge things. And I collected them on my hat. Like I felt like Ash Ketchum. I was 8 or whatever. But at the time, there was this new surge of Feraligatr decks, which burned up energy and killed you really quick. It was like impossible to beat. Then my like 8-year-old brain was like, wait, can I do that with like a card that I have? And I found a Magmar that it did essentially the same thing. And I beat this like sweaty old man at a children's card game and felt proud of it. And then Magmar was my favorite after that. That deck was also put on the official trading card website for Pokemon, which back in the days of like AOL keywords was a huge deal because there were like, I don't know, 200 websites total. So I bragged about it to my friends. And that is why Magmar is my favorite Pokemon.
And my favorite Digimon is Big Mamemon. And I will post an image of that in the QA questions. Hopefully it actually reads this link as an image.
That's a Digimon?
Yes, it's a Digimon.
I'll admit, I've never once watched an episode of Digimon. This was not what I was expecting. I thought they were all like dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, I was super into Digimon when I was young, and then fell out of it as I got older. But this guy, I do not have to defend my decision, I feel. Like he speaks for himself.
He does. He does. I'll have to find more images of him. What's he called?
Big Mamemon.
Big Mamemon. Okay, even the name sells me on it. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna take this one from Rambaral or Rambaral, however you pronounce it. Are you guys gonna do more of the Discord formatted videos? Yes, we are. Those are fun little things we like to do. They take significantly less effort, I guess. They do still take quite a bit of effort. Blue puts in a lot of effort into making the visuals look convincing and real, but in terms of scripting, it allows us to do so much that doesn't get hampered down by the visuals that we have, because we don't have to tie it to the overall story or the animation. We can just let our characters do whatever. For instance, we can have Catherine talk with Noin, even though in the show they never once meet. So those are things we want to do, but they're never going to get in the way of the actual show. It'll more just be when we have downtime and have an idea, we'll make more. As long as you guys keep enjoying them, which hopefully you do. They're fun. Jack, you want to take one?
Yeah. I bet you know what? I should probably start answering some voice acting specific questions. I would love to do all the, like, what's your favorite blank? Why are you wrong about blank? But,
yeah. We'll do a healthy mix.
Yeah, I'll take one from Lock On Stratos. When you voice your characters, do you do any preparation for the voices you do, or do you just do the voices without any preparation? So I don't know how. I'm sure either Blue or Gray have like talked about this before, but with me specifically, I always, before every single line, say, "I'm Heero Yuy," like before doing the line, and it's just like a thing that I do. But it turned into a bit of a joke in the recording booth because for for voices that take me less effort, like Pagan or Shoals, which is just my regular speaking voice, I do the same thing where I'm like, "I'm Pagan," or "I'm Shoals," and they fucking lose it every time, and we have to like waste some of our recording time on them laughing.
Blue absolutely lost it the first time he says, "I'm Dr. Scholes," just in his voice. And we just died because we weren't expecting that to come out.
I gotta be consistent. That's just what I gotta do.
What's funny with his lines because we record it all in one big session. So it'll be like a 45-minute session that I have to pull all of the lines from as I'm making the video. And I can tell every spot where his lines start because the same audio blip of there's a pause and then I'm Heero Yuy and then a pause again. And I always know when the line is coming up, so his are very easy to like chop out and figure out where his lines are.
I'm like a living timestamp.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, here's a good one from I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Just wing it.
TTK Dag197 just asked, are you guys interested in card games? And if so, which one do you play? We actually play the current Dragon Ball Super card game. Blue and I do. We got into that through a friend. Actually, two completely separate friends got each of us into it separately. Then we found out that each other played it, and then we just played it together. So we enjoy that one. It's a pretty well-made game. It does have some power creeping now that it's been out for a few years, but there was actually, before COVID hit, a weekly tournament at our local card game shop that we liked. And yeah, it's a fun game. Past that, though, I know that Blue played Yu-Gi-Oh! Growing up. I played Pokemon growing up, but we didn't really get into other card games after that. We've never been to Magic the Gathering or anything like that. Jack, how about you?
I used to play a fair bit of Magic the Gathering, and then my bank account said, hey, you gotta not do this anymore, and I was like, okay. And so I haven't really played any major trading card games since. But yeah, I'm definitely open to getting into some.
Well, you know, there's actually a Gundam Wing trading card game. Well, I guess it wasn't. Was it a trading card? There were two decks. It was part of a greater mecha thing. I got it for Blue as a Christmas present like 5 years ago, and we told ourselves that we would eventually stream ourselves playing it. So if you would like to join in on that, we're gonna do that one day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be around.
We're gonna play it without any context. We're just gonna like read the rules live right there and try and figure out, and everybody can see how dumb we are. It'll be great.
No, yeah, we are really dumb. Just gonna put this out there. Like it's like, if you guys think that, oh man, we kind of like suck at doing something, you're probably right.
All right, I'll take another since that was a quick and easy one. From Grim, how did you find motivation to write and work on the show initially, and how was your sources of motivation changed after getting episodes? The motivation first was Tiba, which I think we said last week. You know, if you're unaware, Tiba was the big contest in 2016 held by Team 4-Star, where you had a month to make your own abridged episode of something. That gave us a deadline, so whereas we always had a vague idea of what we wanted to do, the deadline said, okay, now we have to do it. And we got into it late, so rather than having a month, we had about 2.5 weeks. So that was our initial motivation. After that, if I'm being honest, our episode 1 was kind of me being spiteful because I hated that we didn't get in the top 30, and I thought I will absolutely make a good episode 1, and you all will feel stupid for not picking us. After that, it just kind of became, I guess, my thing that I wanted to do. Whenever you enjoy something and you want to see it through, the motivation is there just to continue making it. People enjoying it, people's feedback, that helps too, but it's honestly just something where I want to create something, and therefore I'm creating something. It does take money, it does take time, it takes a lot of focus, but I do it because I like to. Jack, what's your motivation?
It's all spite.
You know what, that's fair.
No, it isn't all spite, but it's like I can definitely get behind the whole like, oh, we didn't get picked, so let's like, I mean, like, there is something to be said. You really, like, Tiba was the thing that got us started, but to me personally, it was really important that we kept going even though we weren't, you know, officially recognized by Tiba or anything like that, because we all discovered that we had a lot of fun doing it, and you know, like, might as well keep going.
Yeah. That's true. Most of our actors, so basically everyone that we pulled together for T the last second, were actors or friends, but none of us had actually gotten into voice acting before that. Like almost our entire cast until we started reaching out online. This was their first time doing it. So we were just kind of winging it in our mom's basement and then going from there. Now we have a better mic setup, but we're still just kind of amateurs pretending to be professional. Jack, why don't you take one?
Okay, let's see. Another one from Lock on Stratos. For Paprika Jack, do you do any work on any other Abridged series with other people or not? No, I've only ever voice acted or worked on this specific Abridged series. I may be open to doing other stuff, but it's just sort of like this is kind of what I'm doing right now.
And if anybody ever wants to hire him, let me know.
Don't hire me. I'm awful to work with.
COVID coughs, they're still there. Yeah, we're very happy to have him, because initially he was just, yeah, I guess I could figure it out. How hard can it be? Do you remember your audition line that you sent us? What you said?
Oh, was it something I said out of character or something I said in character?
It was in character, but you kept flubbing the line, and then you had a live recording of yourself in character.
Yeah, it was like it was something like, I should know the difference between torpedoes and missiles, god damn it.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. The line was about torpedoes, and he kept saying missiles, so there are 3 straight lines of him stopping, saying, not missiles. And then he said that, and I was like, alright, I'm sold. I like him. Let's get him in here.
Yeah, so I think that answers someone else's questions. Yeah, Wooloo, but actually, Issei. I did audition for Heero. I remember that Gray and Blue were like running auditions for him and were kind of like struggling to find a voice that they wanted, and I was like, I was in a bit of a massive debt to Blue at the time, still kind of am. And so this is sort of my way of repaying him, but also yes, I did have to audition for the role.
Yeah, everyone auditioned. There were none that were like already decided. The only person from our group that did not audition for their role was actually me, and that's because not a single person tried out for Wu Fei but me.
Nobody wanted to be Wu Fei.
Yeah, well, I even said, like, okay, if anybody is Wu Fei, by the way, you will know that you will be saying some misogynistic things, you'll be cussing, that sort of stuff, so if you're uncomfortable with that, just let me know. But in that, like, rush of us all trying to find our cast for this thing that was due in 2 weeks, no one tried out for him, so I was like, I guess I'll be Wu Fei, why not? So I never auditioned. Everyone else did. Ha, suck it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really feeling that one. Oof. Big burn.
Get dunked on. All right, so I'll just do some quick ones now. Some just fly through some quick ones.
Sure.
With this one from Killer Muffins. How are you guys feeling? I'm feeling mostly fine. Most of my symptoms are gone, still a little sore, but I think I'll be good to go to work by sometime next week, which is exciting because then I get paid again. Jack, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I ran out of coffee yesterday.
Do you need me to get you more coffee?
No. But I am going to mope about it.
Okay, that's fair. All right, and then this one from Grunts Lives Matter. How many interns will be killed? That's lot.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
It is. I've been contemplating what to do with our running interns joke in terms of how to count them, if I should like give a full list of all their names, because every single one is individually named in our scripts, and I keep track of that. So eventually we'll probably do something with that, but I really can't tell a certain number. Then the one from Aizaku, best intern, Jeff. Honestly, he was the first one. He was the one that got this whole joke started. My vote is Jeff the intern. That was where we found his voice, and we were like, why don't we have this be a running joke where like every single Oz soldier is this same guy. And we weren't sure if it was going to work, but after that, it did, and it carried on. So I think Jeff is the best intern. Another one, which mobile suit is your favorite? My favorite mobile suit is actually the Turn A Gundam. That's my favorite. I love his stupid mustache. I love all of his stupid powers. I love everything about the show. Jack, do you have a favorite?
So this is where I kind of have to tear the curtain away a little bit. I have very little to no experience with mecha anime or Gundam, like, at all.
That's why I called you out on it.
Yeah, it's about time I get called out on it. I've actually only watched the first 3 episodes of Gundam Wing, which, yeah, that's a bit of a... I should probably get smart on that. Out of the mobile suits I've seen, my favorite is probably Heavy Arms, because it's just like... I don't know, like, nuanced design out the window, put a big gun on it.
Yeah, I also really like the coloring on Heavy Arms. He's one of my favorites. The orange and red combo is kind of rare in mecha, but I really like, and that's actually Blue's favorite, Heavy Arms. Since he isn't here, I'll answer for him. He absolutely loves Heavy Arms. The funny thing with Paprika not having a ton of knowledge with Wing, we have to explain the full context of every scene once he like comes in the recording booth, because he'll just see the lines and he's like, what's going on? And then I have to try to explain
happening?
And like, so for the next episode, he and Zex fight, and I tried to explain how he shakes hands. And I said, like, he looks down like this at his feet, holds out his arm awkwardly, and says, "I've never shaken hands with anyone before." and he just kind of lost, like, why? Like, I don't know, the show's melodramatic, dude.
Yeah, I've learned to kind of stop asking why and just go with it.
A lot of our actors got into this because they are our friends and are interested in voice acting and like the product that we're making, but they don't actually know a lot about Wing. That's where we come in. So we have explained plot points to probably half of our cast who haven't seen it, and then we go on and explain, like, for the future. So like our Zex voice actor, I explained like where Zex ends up as the villain, and he's just like, "Oh, so I'm going to be Space Hitler?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess you're kind of Space Hitler." He's like, "All right, dope." And we just kind of like go from there. But one of my favorite things is explaining the plot offense of Frozen Teardrop to our actors, because they just end up laughing and they think I'm making it up. But no, this is technically canon. I'd really like to do something with Frozen Teardrop one day just because it's so ripe for comedy, but since there's not like a real animation to it, I'm not sure if we ever can. But it's really funny to like just throw these plot points out there and see them kind of have these weird looks like, are you messing with me, or is that real? Let's do another quick question, even though I didn't do those that quickly.
That's okay.
Here's one for you, Jack. Paprika Jack from Lock On Stratos. Paprika Jack, do you listen to any Nickelback?
Oh boy. Nickelback is probably like the farthest from what I would normally listen to if I was choosing to listen to music. No offense to anyone who does like Nickelback, but I will say, what's the Chad Kroeger song, the one about being a rock star? For some reason, is that?
I don't know.
I think it's just Rockstar by Nickelback.
I can vaguely remember the song, but I do not remember like much about it. I couldn't sing it right now.
I got that song stuck in my head without knowing any of the lyrics back when I worked at my freight job. So I ended up putting lyrics in place to the tune of that song, trying to get it out of my head for like months of my life, just while like forklifting and such.
That's pretty great. I did not know that.
It's memories I do not want to revisit.
But
I do know I came up with some really weird lyrics for that song that are not the lyrics to that song.
Here's one from one of our actors, actually. Thank you for providing Meat Lover Pizza Rex. That's what he's going by in here. With the success of GT, I noticed a lot of people saying we were the next TFS. How did that make you guys feel? Happy? A little worried? Proud? I saw some people comparing my Vegeta to Lanny Pator's. I'm not sure exactly. I've always just called him Lanny. And I know I have nothing on that guy. First off, you have plenty on that guy. But secondly, and I wish Blue were here to answer this. Maybe I'll make him answer it next month. But it made us very happy. The only bit of worry it really added in was that extra expectation from a brand new community, because our Gundam community we had slowly built up over the course of 9 episodes and other side projects and stuff like that. But then with GT, because YouTube just likes it better and more people are searching for it, we suddenly got our subscribers like doubled in a month. And a lot of those people were here brand new, and we had to like basically cater to 2 audiences simultaneously. So we had these plans of, going 1 and 1. So 1 GT episode, 1 Wing episode, 1 GT episode, 1 Wing episode, where Blue works on GT, I kind of help where I can, and then I work on Wing, he kind of helps where he can. Then obviously YouTube said fuck you, and now it's not on there. Still not sure where we're going to post it, but that did add a certain anxiety to it, because now rather than have this slowly built up community, you have the second one. And you have to make sure that you cater to them and make sure that they're happy with your content as well. Because if they don't care about Wing, well, you still have to make stuff for them. But we were really proud with the final content. We thought that we made something really good, and beyond fans and anything like that, we just wanted to make something that we were proud of. So the fact that we were proud of GT and other people show that they liked it, like we had almost 700,000 views before YouTube took it down. That's something to be proud of. So I would say we were happy more than worried. That would be my answer. I'll make Blue answer it next time. Jack, you played someone in that, didn't you?
I didn't. I mean, I did technically, but
yeah, you were a robber.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I played one of the robbers.
Yeah, you were.
It was also a weird background line on the Happy Dog TV show that was just like overcrowded with a bunch of sound effects and like other lines going on. So
yeah, we had planned on releasing that video by itself, and then when I made it, it was like, this is like 7 seconds, and I'm not sure we should just release it. It didn't turn out the way that we had hoped, but we were going to have Happy Dog coming back recurring. We'll see if that still happens. But yeah, I forgot you voiced one of those.
Yeah, no, I was the short, kind of tubby guy who went when he got hit.
You got hit in the face with your own gun. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. Jack, you want to take one? I feel like I've taken a bunch.
Sure. Okay, so to Paprika, this is from Lock on Stratos again. To Paprika, would you say that you're a lot like Heero, or would you say that you're nothing like him personality-wise? So having said that, I have not seen the original Gundam Wing. And my context is that he is a child soldier raised to pilot a Gundam from birth. We probably don't have that much in common. If I had to pick one thing to have in common with him, it's our commitment to a bit. Like, oh man, he just like he fucked up and he's like, I gotta blow up my suit. And it's like, yeah, me too, dude. I feel that.
Yeah, I can confirm that Paprika definitely sticks to a bit when he's on a bit. Like, no, we're gonna stick to this and write it out to the bitter end.
Yeah, sometimes for the worst.
Okay, Paprika, I want you to answer this one from
Sure.
Discommunication. Does Dr. Scholes get the least amount of lines because it's so hard to do the voice for him?
So that's really funny. There was actually a point where I tried really hard on this one Scholes line, and like every time I delivered the line, I had to try less and less hard because they were like, no, we just want your normal speaking voice. Like Gray and Blue both were just like, you're too animated. You need to like tone it down. And I couldn't do it because I had just been voicing Heero and Pagan for like all day up until that point. They saved Scholes for last, and it was really hard to do it.
Yeah, we learned from that. We've learned that certain characters you just can't record in the same session because they have to do so much to their voice. Our voice actor for Relina actually also plays Catherine, in case you didn't know, and those voices do not mesh well. She has to go into a much higher register a soft speaking voice for Relina, and then she goes a lower register and puts on a lot of twang for Catherine, so they sound like completely different people. At one point, we tried to do a quick session, about 40 minutes, where it was like 20 minutes Catherine, 20 minutes Relina. She did Relina first, and then with the second one starting to do Catherine, it sounded nothing like her, and we just had to like get rid of the entire session because it was like, no, that doesn't sound like her. We're gonna have to do it again later. Sometimes it is actually hard to go in and out of voices, especially whenever we're not paying you to do it every week. We meet like once every 2 months to get an episode together. Yeah. Okay, so we usually answer some questions on our YouTube post as well, but I forgot to do it in advance. I just did it like a few hours ago, so there wasn't really a whole lot of heads up. So we only got 2 questions in there. I'm going to go ahead and answer both of them now. The first one is from Hyde Keto. Have you played any of the Gundam video games or built any model kits? I'm going to go ahead and revoke my Gundam fan card now and say that I have never built a model kit. Blue has built like 40.
Blasphemous.
I never have.
Blasphemous. I say,
shut up. You haven't either.
No, I haven't. Yeah, but that's expected of me.
Yeah. The funny thing is we actually have like a stack of things that we're going to build because we've been collecting them in anticipation for eventually starting a video series where we build them. And kind of, talk while doing it. We want to get some of our actors doing that too. So we've collected a bunch of wing ones, and we've collected a bunch of specific ones from other shows that we like. And they're just kind of in a stack in our living room for when we eventually do this. We have nowhere in our house where we could easily do this. So we're waiting until, COVID goes away. And then we're going to try and get like a studio or something where we can start building those. Blue will have fun teaching all of us how to do it and making fun of our inability to do it every time, I'm sure. Jack, will you be a part of that? Will you build? You want to build a wing?
Sure. Yeah. No,
right.
I do a lot of work on controllers and stuff. I like tear apart tiny things and put them back together with my hands.
That's
like,
true. You will probably be much better at this than I will.
Who knows? Maybe I won't do anything. Maybe I'll just watch.
The other part of the question, the Gundam video games, that is also something where Blue has played a lot. I really haven't. Dynasty Warriors was never really my thing, so when you plug in some Gundams, still wasn't really my thing. I have played Gundam Versus. I've played the SNES game. I got a ROM hack from the local expo where I could play it, so we played that, and that was fun. But I don't really have a lot of experience with the games. I watch more of the shows. Jack, you haven't played a single one, have you?
Nope.
We'll change that too eventually. We'll get you on one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So then the other question is, of course, one that will be asked every single one of these. From Rob Bolin, when is the next episode? I don't know, as we are currently quarantined and cannot record. I literally can't record right now. I don't know. We have most of it scripted and partially recorded, but we can't really move forward with it until we know that we can get back out into the studio, meet our actors, and record again. So once we are back in full swing, I will let all of you know. Until then, I literally can't. All I can do is continue reworking the script and doing some preliminary edits and stuff. Like right now I'm working on, there's a scene with Catra and Duo with a swimming pool in the background that I need more footage from, so I'm going to edit frame by frame to make that pool shimmer in the background from a still shot where Duo was leaning in. That's probably going to be about 2 days of work, so, that's something I could do, but I still don't have Duo or Catra talking, so, you have a limit.
We're definitely making as much progress on the episode as we can in our current situation.
Yeah. Yep, that's, all we can really do. Jack, why don't you take another one?
Sure. From Just Communication. Based solely on design, name, or abilities, pick one of these to be your starter. And then there's a picture. And we both got to do this.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Here's the picture.
Ooh.
So, so fun bit of trivia. This is art from Iguana Mouth, and my fiance lived with Iguana Mouth for about a year. So
really,
knowing what I know about them, I'm going to probably just either pick Starropter which I'm assuming is just Staraptor with a bag over its head, because I know that Staraptor is a pretty strong Pokemon. But then again, Agumon has a gun.
That was gonna be my
right.
choice. I was just gonna pick Agumon with a gun because he has a gun. That was my choice.
All right.
I do like that he's like just pointing at a bottle of Ranch because I do not like Ranch.
Ranch
So
is
that
too
was
OP. No, that's the one that they put in the game for challenge runners and the like. You know, just like, oh, play this Nuzlocke with a Ditto or something like that. Like, oh, no thanks. I'm not going to just drink the Ranch and lose.
So let's see. Okay. I was gonna pick one for me, but I actually like this one for you, if you'll answer it.
Sure.
From Grim. Jack, based on what you know of Wing, what do you think will happen next for your character?
Well, I'm going to assume something horrible, but he still doesn't die.
So a fun fact about getting Paprika ready for scripts, I always give him a heads up before we go to the booth on whether he will be in pain, screaming, or singing. He has to know those things because those are hard.
Those are the hardest things to do with that voice.
So basically every single episode I'm like, hey, so we do have you loudly in pain a couple times. It's not that bad. But you do yell also, and also there's a singing bit. He's just like, okay,
I'm like, great,
sure.
Okay, I guess we do the singing first.
Yeah, it's hard on the voice, but we like the hero that we made.
It's worth it.
So let's see. I feel like I've been down here too long. Let's scroll back up and see one of the older ones. This one from Mina Kitten. Any hobbies y'all have been sinking more time into? I have actually been indulging my love for the Gears of War franchise. Since I've been quarantined, I have been playing a lot of that with the new update, and I also rewatched all of Black Lagoon on a whim. That's my third time through. I don't know why I like that show so much. I just do. Jack doesn't like it despite not ever having seen it before.
That's a hard thing to explain.
But same question over to you, Jack. Have you been getting into any hobbies since we've been stuck here?
I haven't really started any new hobbies. I've been playing a lot of Dragon Ball FighterZ online as often as I can, and that's been fun. As fun as it can be.
Do you still hate Baby?
No. Not really.
Oh, good.
I found ways around him. Like, I was like, oh, he's annoying at first, but it's fine.
Jack is quite good at fighters. So
no, I'm trash.
I am not. I am actual trash. I do not do well with 3v3 fighting games. It's too much to keep track of. So I played for like the first month, and then they both got exceedingly better than me, and then I gave up.
No, it's an incredibly volatile game.
All right, let's see. Oh,
I got one.
Oh, go for it.
From Bruh69 to Paprika, how do you know about the Yaoi? My response to this is, what? What? The Yaoi? Which Yaoi?
He doesn't, and in all honesty, we only have a vague knowledge. We had to do research and find our more Yaoi knowledgeable friends to make sure that the series that we put into the image that came in episode 8 or 9, it was 9, episode 9, and the various references we make to the Wing fan, and we want to make sure that they're correct when we put them out there. So I always like double check. I have multiple friends who are much more deep than I've ever been, and they help me fact check. We try to make sure that everything we put in the series is correct, so no one like calls us out on it later.
I got one from Loaded Snail.
All right.
What's Hero's opinion of Celestial Being and Setsuna? And because Loaded Snail asked what Hero's opinion is and not mine, I don't know what either of those things are.
That's a cop-out, but I like it.
I don't know what either of those things are either.
You know what? I think for every question that you answer in Hero's voice, in the video, I'm just going to put, like, Heero talking. Like, I'm going to find some visual of him talking. Yeah, no context. He'll be in a cockpit. He'll be talking to Duo. It doesn't matter. Anytime you pull out the voice. All right. Here's one from Hobbs, the Green Caper. To Gray. Have you played Mass Effect Andromeda? And if so, do you believe that it deserves its notorious reputation? Last time I told everyone that I'm a huge BioWare nerd. Mass Effect and Dragon Age are my two favorite things. Andromeda is not as bad as people said it was. Cyberpunk put that clearly in perspective. It's not a great Mass Effect game. It is an okay sci-fi game. It has its moments. Its combat is fun, but at the same time not challenging enough. But the only reason that it got as much flack as it did was because of when it released. Like, it was within, I think, 2 months of Horizon Zero Dawn, Breath of the Wild, and Nier Automata. Like, being compared to all three of those when you're on a smaller budget and smaller scope,
hard.
And trying to make up for the ending of Mass Effect 3, like, it was doomed to fail. It's not that bad. I've beaten it twice. It's okay. It's not my favorite, but it's not nearly as bad. Like, people tore more into that, I feel like, at launch than they did on Cyberpunk 2077, because people were still, like, defending that game, even with the PlayStation graphics and constant breaks. Like, Blue beat it, and it actually crashed in the credits. Like, the end credits. Like, just, a video that plays, it crashed and went back to the home screen. And he's like, okay, well, I'm done. like the worst thing that Andromeda had was some poorly recorded dialogue where they didn't put in any effort, and a lot of, like, old last gen animations. Like, it was stiff. Otherwise, it was fine, I guess. That's my rousing rally cry for Mass Effect Andromeda. Its multiplayer was fun, though. All right, so we're getting to 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and wrap this up with a few more questions. Jack, you got any last burning questions you want to answer?
Sure. Just Communication asks, can Heero say he's going to kill me? Just Communication. I'll kill you. All right, we got that out of the way. Another quick one. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm going to pick another question. I'm going to completely ignore that one. I had a conversation with Blue on a similar premise. I think we were talking about whether or not water was wet on a drive home from somewhere, and, like, we almost got, like, scream angry at each other.
I was here when you got home, and I thought there was a serious problem. And then you told me what it was, and then I believe my reply was, okay, and then I went back to my room.
That's the right thing to do, I think, in that situation. I'm not going down that rabbit hole anymore.
All right, I'll do a few quick ones now. This is an older one from Silent Cobra. To Blue and Gray, can I suggest using Daily Motion for Goku time? Yes, you can. From Wooloo, but actually Issei. To Movie Night Monday, are they all Resident Evil movies? No, but I do want to do all of the Resident Evil movies because they are all wonderful trash. Let's see. From Pantuzler, do you take any inspirations/influences for your style of comedic writing and timing? There are a lot of inspirations just from, where you take your comedy from. In the way that we write, I can tell that there is a lot of Archer in the dialogue. I can tell that there is a lot of Arrested Development in the structure of the story, at least how I try to do it. There's definitely some YouTube in it as well. A lot of Blue's humor comes from those quick-witted soundbite type files where I'll have this long, elaborate joke, and then Blue will come in and be like, but why don't you just say it this way? It's 5 words, it's quotable. There, fixed it for you. So there are a lot of them, I think, but it just comes from a whole lifetime of watching lots of comedy. It just kind of comes out in you. I think everyone has those sorts of influences. Then let's see. Nope, already answered that one, just from a different person. What keeps you all motivated to work on this awesome series? I'm just going to say that one because it says the word awesome in it. Thank you.
It's still spite.
It's still spite. When we finish it and like Endless Waltz is done, I'm just going to put like right at the end, also fuck you, Tiba.
Yeah, you know, 10 years down the line or whatever when that comes out.
There was one, let me see if I can find it. Someone asked, like, an MCU style question.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Okay, so, from TTK Dagwan97, will we get a MCU-esque thing when you move on to other Gundam series? I believe so. I don't know how we'll move on to other Gundam series. I don't know if we'll do a full, you know, like 30, 40 episode retelling of it the way that we are with Wing. But we'll probably do like movies or like OVA type things where we make it like 5 episodes or something. And in that case, we'll probably try and shove our Wing characters into it in some way, just, you know, for fun, even though like, it makes no sense timeline wise. I think that would be fun. But we'll finish Wing before we start thinking about other Gundam series. That is our first and foremost. This one isn't a question from Wooloo. Ranch is too OP. Sure.
Maybe it is. Maybe there's something I'm missing about Ranch. I think Ranch is super underpowered, probably super bottom tier.
I've always been a blue cheese guy. I prefer blue cheese.
Yeah, I don't like blue cheese.
We always have a fight when we order wings. All right, so from Lock on Stratus, do you ever think about releasing an album of Heero covering songs? Jack, what do you think?
Oh, please no. Please don't make me do it. Actually,
so the answer is yes then.
Yeah, no, that's something that we've thought about for a little while now.
Yeah.
Or at least releasing, like, I've sang more of the songs that have shown up with Heero singing than have been shown in the show. We could compile those and release those on their own if we felt like it.
And we haven't forgotten our first Patreon reward. We promised that we would have Heero singing songs. It just came at a bad time for recording, but we will get to that at some point. There will probably be multiple things, but I'm not sure that we'll ever make you record an entire song, let alone an entire album. But we'll do like a chopped up best of or something. I think that would be fun. At least I do, because it's not my voice. All right, few last ones to wrap this up. From I'm not sure if it's Gigi or Gigi, but this is for Gray. Which is better in your opinion, Halo or Destiny? I am going to get a lot of flack here. I'm going to say Destiny, and this is all. Blue will hate me. Blue is such a huge.
I'm gonna go tell him.
Just go tell him right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tell him right now. Be right back.
He's literally gonna go. Okay, I say Destiny only because Halo 5 was so bad that I stopped caring about the story. He's actually telling him how the dog is barking. Okay, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. But I'll stream some Destiny and talk more about Destiny later, and I'm sure Blue will stream some Halo. So thank you guys very much for coming tonight. I'm very happy that Paprika Jack got to talk to y'all. We want to get more of our actors in, so if you have any other actors that you would like to hear from, maybe Relina or Noin or Trays, anyone, just let us know, and we'll see if they'll be available for the next one. And to everyone, please stay safe. Stay at home if you're sick, like we are. And once this whole thing ends, we'll get back into the swing of things, and we'll have episode 10 out very soon. We'll also have more content for you and more news about GT whenever we get a new place to host that. So stay safe. We love you guys. Thanks for coming.
Blue says he's launching missiles.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.